9:30 at night and I have to be at clinic tomorrow at 7:30. I'm not be sitting here eating mac and cheese, yelling at my camera. Here we are. For the life of me, I cannot fucking remember anything about the image intensifier when it comes to fluoroscopy. So let's do this. Okay, you know that big fat fucker that hangs off of the C-arm? Or like if you have an old fluoroscopy set up in your fluoro room? That's the image intensifier, yeah? How does that thing take the x-rays and make an image? Image intensifier is what makes the image. The tube is the little tiny thing on the C-arm, right? Big fat thing, little tiny thing, that's where the x-rays come from. And then they hit that image intensifier, and that's how they make x-rays. But how the fuck do they do that? I don't know, apparently we need to know every single little detail about that because that's important. Look, my meds are wearing off. Your x-rays are going to hit the input phosphor. It's usually made of cesium iodide. Input phosphor iodide. Apparently, that's the glittery bullshit that turns radiation into light. You just bombarded me with some ionizing death rays. Here's some sparkles. Sounds fascinating, lovely, riveting, doesn't it? But guess what? The light is a weak little bitch. We have hit the cesium iodide and we got some weak ass fucking glittery sparkles that do nothing. The photocathode, chilling right behind the input phosphor. Photocathode. So light from the input phosphor goes to the photocathode. Let's call the photocathode emo. It's like an emo teenager. It gets the light and then it just gets really mad and it spews out electrons. The emo photocathode spews out electrons because it's an angry teenager. Now that we've got our emo stream of electrons, we can't just let them go wandering around the OR like a clueless nursing student. Inside there's some focusing lens things that keep them herded like a sheepdog herding its little electron sheep. Okay, finally the electrons are going to hit the output phosphor. It's made of some radioactive bullshit, like some sort of like zinc cadmium sulfide or something. But I don't think they're going to ask about that on boards, but it's, yeah. And then boom, once it hits the output phosphor up here, you get a bright light image. It's like 5,000 to 30,000 times brighter than what you started with. That's why it's called an image intensifier. Because all this bullshit that it has to go through intensifies the image. And before you ask, magnification mode is a thing. It uses less of the input phosphor, and there's a smaller field of view, but higher resolution and higher dose. So when surgeons ask you to mag up, you hit mag 1, mag 2. More dose to the patient, but they can see what they're doing better. And congratulations, you're also microwaving the patient in the process, so it's great. This is a terrible fucking drawing, but I highly recommend looking up a diagram after this shit box of an explanation to see if it makes more sense to you. So there you have it. X-rays to the input phosphor, and then input phosphor photocathode, and that's light. Light to electrons. Electrons get backflip, focused, and accelerated, and then you get bright-ass image. Because it's an image intensifier. Intensifier, I hardly know her. And to think, all of this happens inside a 3-foot-long metal sausage that hums ominously while you try not to irradiate your spleen. I feel like I need to do a part 2 for flat panel detectors, but the image intensifier is what I can't ever wrap my head around.